Yes, people. Here we are back again, back at the Net Podcast. Now, I've been all busy for the last couple of weeks, but listen, my guy Cav's been doing his thing online. I've been watching it, been keeping up to date with all the transfer news. So, listen, what better place to start than the breaking news today with Havertz? But before we get into that, my guy Cav, what are you saying?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm here. Just started the brand new podcast, the Red Pitch podcast. Everyone go check it out. I'm just grinding, man. I'm grinding.
That's what we've got to do, innit? Like, I'm trying to grind and enjoy, but the transfer news and all these, every day I'm on Twitter, I'm scrolling, I'm like, oh, it's the right thing happening. But listen, the floor is yours, bro. Let's have it. Let's start there, bro. What are you saying?
Yeah, Kai Havertz. Do you know what? Yeah, everyone out there is. I've seen loads of fans. Everyone's stressed. Everyone's complaining. I swear, 95% of our fan base now, they're against Havertz. No, he's rubbish. He's this and that. And do you know what? I disagree, right? Because when you see it, Havertz has been playing in a poor, below par Chelsea team, right? And when you look at all the players Chelsea have, especially last season, the Enzo Fernandez they bought Mudryk, even Raheem Sterling don't look like Raheem Sterling. Do you know what I'm saying? It's the actual club. It's nothing to do with the individual at all. Especially like with Havertz, he struggled in Lampard's 4-3-3 system. There was no kind of where to fit him in that system. So he hardly got a bit of game time. Thomas Tuchel came in, he introduced the new 3-4-2-1 system, which suited Havertz. We know he's not a main striker. He's not a number 9. Because a lot of people will say, no, he can't hit a barn door, he can't this and that. But what they're going to understand is Havertz isn't your token number 9. He's a guy that plays between the 9 and the 10, and he floats along that line just behind the striker. That's his best position. When he gets the ball to feet, like people might disagree, but when he gets the ball to feet, the things that he does, he is in the top 10 in the league at what he does. He's just had a poor few seasons, and I think personally, if he's coached in a different team in a different system, a system that is more suited to him, I think he can relieve that form that he had at Bayern Leverkusen and be that player that Chelsea went out and spent however many millions for again. I don't think he's lost it. Same thing, obviously talking about Havertz, but same thing I reckon even about Jadon Sancho. I just think that's just Man United, the wrong club for him. I just think certain players don't fit certain clubs, and I just think this Havertz thing is just one of them personally. So I'm not opposed to the signing.
So me now. Now I hear it. I feel like for me, I think it's just a bit of confusion. I look at it and think like, all right, I've just literally reading before we came on here and they talk about Arsenal was saying between 55 and 60 mil. Now, I don't want to give them money that allows them to go and get Caicedo. That's what I'm thinking. Like, if we're thinking Havertz and we're going to agree Caicedo, then by all means, great deal. Okay, good deal. Because at the end of the day, it's like we've got Trossard. So I'm trying to think like Arteta, and I'm trying to think where the hell is it going to put him? Is it a case of squad depth? Are you looking for that quality squad depth like Man City, like where we see Mahrez come off the bench, Foden, but it is a lot of money. And that's the thing is with Arsenal, we don't know how much money we have for the summer. So when we see this out there and have it, we think, bro, we're not going to get this person and that person, but we really don't know. So I think it depends what the plan is in terms of who we selling, what system. Because I think next season we're going to go for I've read it. Someone said a free. What did he play last season? I think someone said a 3-5-2. But the 3-5-2 we can drop the Zinchenko and come in and all of that. And I feel like that's what Arteta is looking for. But for me, I still think Rice and Caicedo are the priorities. Like I just 100%. In my head, I've got Rice there in the holding mid, and you've got Caicedo going in at right back and rotate. Like I've got dreams, man. I've got dreams, and it's like I just don't want to have that team affecting it. But I'm with
That's
you.
what I mean.
Mm.
But you know what? Like I do agree with you. With me, I think if it's a Havertz thing, he's got to be that bonus signing where you've made all your signings that you wanted to, like the Rice, the Caicedos, another right sided centre back or whatever,
Yeah.
and then maybe I don't know another right back. They're talking about right backs as well, and then just that cherry on top. You've done all your business, and then you think, let's just sprinkle Havertz on top. You know what I mean? Then I won't mind. I'm not the fee thing that they're asking for 60+ million. Personally, I wouldn't pay that much. And if they are saying that much, then unless we're gonna spend about 400 million this summer, I would decline that. And they say that Chelsea have got till June the 30th to get rid of players, otherwise it interferes with FFP and things like that. So if that's true, and if that's the case, I don't know, on June the 29th, offer them 35 mil for Havertz.
No, I'm with you.
What I mean?
Yeah, pay less, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to be more astute in terms of the transfer window. And I don't, as I said, just don't give them money and then next when they go and get Caicedo. We need to look at it and go, all right, cool, they're struggling a bit. And if that is the case, the 30th of June, because I only heard about that today as well, then go for Caicedo and be like, listen, we've got both. Because the Rice thing's annoying me. I don't know about you, but I'll go online and I'll scroll through and go, it'll be the same news I read yesterday. And I'm like, can Ornstein or someone just say bid put in West Ham medical expected? But like I just got this thing with Arsenal. Like, imagine Arsenal bottled this. Imagine Arsenal.
Do you know what? Oh boy, I mean, it's. I think they've done so much groundwork behind the scenes. I think what I've heard that we're doing things slightly different with Rice in terms of Rice. They're basically doing all the groundwork behind the scenes. They're going back and forth with the advisors, going back and forth with West Ham about structures and everything. And then once they get to that number, they all agree on the way that the payment is going to be in 2 seasons period, if it's going to be over a 3-season period, the payment structure and everything. I heard that once they get that together, then they're going to submit an official bid, because then it's just like, right, we know what we want, we've agreed everything behind the scenes, just send the bid in, we'll accept it, he'll do his medical, bang, bang, bang. And for some reason, I don't know why, I just got this feeling that Rice isn't the only person that they're doing this behind the scenes thing with, because I got a feeling that we're working very quietly. Because if you notice here, when you hear about, you hear about certain players being linked to us, but other clubs, you're hearing more and more. Like, say for Liverpool, you heard about McAllister before, you heard about Kefren Turam, Kone, this person, that person, and with us, it's more kind of whispers. So I got a feeling that behind the scenes, there's at least 3-4 that they're working on, and I don't know if you heard the rumors about Pepe, Saudi Arabia thing.
Boy, I'll take it myself. I'll buy the flight.
I'm hoping that is true, because I don't know what team it would be over there, but we would basically be able to command a decent fee if that's the case, like a 30 million fee or whatever. So I'm hoping that goes through. But yeah, Rice is top quality, man. Like I saw in the stats, him in terms of interceptions, he was the highest in the league, way ahead out of Rodri. Ball progression as well. He's out there in first place. He's in the top 3 of basically everything. In his position, in at number 6 or number 8 that he rotated for West Ham. He can do it all, man. Centre defence. He's the man. But I'm going to ask you, Castagna, right back. What do you think?
Man, forget that. I don't even want to talk about Castagna. Right? Forget that. You know what? Nah, no disrespect here. He's a good player. I feel like the Cedric thing scarred me. Like,
Yeah.
how Cedric? I was really, actually no. I read something and it was talking about our right backs. Yeah, we really do well in terms of right backs. Do you remember when we bought? What was that guy we bought? Oh my god, under Emery, the Swiss don. Oh my god, Lichtsteiner. Do you remember?
Yeah.
That's what.
Lichtsteiner. We had Debussy. You remember Debussy?
Oh
Right
my
back
god!
as well.
You see what I'm saying?
Matthew
Like,
Debussy. I think
like
the
right.
last decent right back. Who's the last decent right back we've probably had? That's been decent.
Lauren for me. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
because
probably
Abui was good,
Lauren.
but Abui had bad games. Like Abui,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Probably Lauren. Like
Right.
we're not that good when it comes to right backs. And I look at it and I feel like Arsenal just need to. I don't know how much we've got to spend, but if we do sell the players that we want to sell and make the money, and let's say we make, let's say our transfer budget is 150 as an example, and we make 80 mil off player sales. Cool, we won't go and spend a full 240, but Rice will cost about 100. Caicedo will cost you what, 75 to 80, so that's 180. Leave you with about 60. Then if you want a right back, or actually even with that, you wouldn't need a right back because we've seen what Caicedo done for Brighton. And that doesn't mean in every game you're going to do that, because some games you can get away with doing Ben White there. You know what I'm trying to say? And that's why I think it's so, and that's why I think it's so important. We're still going to have Tomiyasu back. And I feel like having Rice, I feel like the plan with Rice is, I don't know if you agree with me, is where he's going to come straight in, be one of the main linchpins. And I don't think he's going to do as much defensive work as he did at West Ham. I feel like at Arsenal, he'll get a bit more. If he's playing with Thomas Partey, there'll be games where it's like Partey sits, Rice can do. I don't know if you saw that goal in the conference where he ran, weaved in and out. I feel like we'll see a lot. He's got quality. He's got quality to do that, and that's what I want to see. And I think in 2-3 years' time, I'm putting on the line now. And I like to come up with mad statements. 2-3 years' time, he will be the captain if we sign him, because it's not confirmed yet. He will be the captain. You can see it already. They've got the young project. Give him the captaincy. You can really see it at the Emirates. So he gets the band. He scores that winner in a big game. He's in the crowd going mad, holding the back. Like, it's there. I can see it. But
it's there.
We're just on the cusp. We're on the cusp of being very, very good. I look at City. I'm just reading now. Mahrez set to go to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
So you look at them, and don't get me wrong, they're still a strong team, but they're not gonna have, like, if Gundo goes as well, they're losing a couple of these key linchpins in these big games. Bernardo Silva as well. So the right signings for us, Caicedo, Rice, and maybe a right back. Or what I would do, January, go and bid for Ivan Toney. 40 mil. Brentford, listen, I know he ain't trained yet. We'll take him.
Take him.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, take him. Because you don't know where we'll be come January. We could be third, second by 3-4 points. He comes in, hits the ground running, And that's the thing with Arsenal. It's always nearly. We never got a strong team, stay fit, do it, get the business done. So I just want to see more aggression in transfer market.
Yeah, I mean, the window only officially opened today, but I've seen a lot of people losing their heads already. I'm like, chill, just calm down. The window just opened today. If it's still like this in 4 weeks' time, then we'll be like, what's going on? But like I said, I believe we're working behind the scenes. But one player that we heavily be linked to that I don't think I want is Cancelo, especially if they're talking about Cancelo at right back.
No.
I'm not interested in that. 60 mil as well. Again, they're talking 60 mil. All these 60 million
numbers, isn't it?
It's crazy.
Nah, he's good, but he's not us. I think we've seen it. The City, how it went for him when he first comes to City. Remember, he had the doubts, and then he got better, and then he went to Bayern. And with him, I just look. I think what I've seen with Zinchenko, going forward, good, going back, not the best. I get scared that that's what Cancelo will bring in certain games against the, no disrespect, but against the Bournemouth or the Lutons next season. When you're at home, Cancelo might work, but then play him in a game where it's like, cool, that Man City, we need you to be on point here. Go too far forward, concede a goal. Like, I don't want that. Now I want a team where it's like, like Man City last season, every position you're sorted. Aki comes in and Kanji comes in. That's what I want. Like Tierney for me next season. I want him starting next season. I want him to be.
If he's still here.
Exactly, because I know Newcastle are linked with him, but I think Newcastle are looking at looking at Kyle Walker Peters as well, because he can play both sides as well. But obviously they're going to want an out and out left back who I don't know. That's
Villa wanted Tierney as well.
You see what I'm saying? If I'm here, Newcastle's the move, man. Like you're Glaswegian, real close to Newcastle, not too far, family up there. It sounds good, and you can see it already. Tierney down one wing, Trippier down the other wing, and they're just finishing crosses into the box, like, you know what I mean? But sense. I don't want to sell him. I feel like we need to learn to keep these players, build a squad for Listen, we've got Champions League now, man. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. You'd think that, you know, this club would. This is a great opportunity now. A great opportunity. Finally, after 6-7 years, you're back in the Champions League.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic opportunity. You need to build on from last season. I don't want to be hearing this time next year. I don't want to be hearing people say to me, "Oh, see, I told you the 22-23 season was just a fluke, and Liverpool weren't at their best, Chelsea weren't at their best, Spurs weren't at their best, United. So that's the only reason why you finished second." No, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear, "Well, you lot are really serious. Like, it wasn't a fluke. Arsenal really back." The late 90s, early 2000s, Arsenal is back and competing every year. That's what they need to take advantage of, and especially when I hear things like, Tierney, they might be allowed to go for like 30 million and stuff. I'm thinking, come on, man. Yes, he's had his fair share of injuries, but not 30 million. You're practically giving him away. You need to start commanding his fees. He's still young. Come on, 50 million.
Straight
Why
up.
not?
Yeah. It's always us though, isn't it? We can't sell. We can't sell. That's the problem. Our last big one was, I think it was a Wobie. I think it was a Wobie, wasn't it? Or Willock.
Willock.
Yeah, Willock or Wobie.
Willock was our biggest one in the last few years, right? Willock. Wobie then Willock. And you just think
it's mad.
The players that we've let go, especially like I was talking before about someone like Maitland-Niles, Wolves wanted for 30 million. We said no, and now he's gone for free. Like, things like that, it's just, I don't know, man.
It's frustrating, man. Yeah, then it's the business is awful. And I think like, you look at Chelsea, the command is 60 mil for Havertz. But the problem is when Chelsea come on, people still pay it. Like, sometimes I look at them and be like, why are you not paying it? Why? If you know this FFP thing, just be, you know what, Chelsea? Nah, we're giving 40. You don't want it? Cool. Let them suffer. Let them suffer, man. You know what I mean? Because don't be surprised. Imagine they could quite possibly, and it's a bit mad, but they could possibly get the money from Havertz and go, do you know what? Let's go for the Rice thing. Because the Havertz thing is speeding up so fast, it could be done before the Rice deal. Like, genuinely. Yeah. So it's, you know, all we need to do is get that over the line. As they said, get over the line, and then it's a domino effect. Just get that done, and then we can go from there. I feel like at that point, that's when Arsenal fans will sit down and go, whew, okay, let's go. The business is here. You know what I'm saying? At the moment, we're a bit like, is the Rice happening? Oh, this and that. Like, for me, I know people wait for Fabrizio Romano. For me, it's Ornstein. Like, once I see the Ornstein thing, because Romano's like, Romano will tell you, oh yeah, this and that. He will at someone. Ornstein, he will come with the whole, it's a free stroke 4-year deal, medical. Like, his ones get me going. I'm like, oh, what?
You know, he's for me, he's the main guy.
Yeah.
Ornstein. I've got Ornstein on notifications. Right? You know, whenever it pops up, I'm waiting to see like Rice or not. I'm just like, man,
no.
This is going to be, I just don't want it to be another Modric. Where every day you're like, yeah, Modric, is he coming today? Modric, no? Have we done this? Modric? And then all of a sudden, Chelsea signed Modric. You're like, what?
Yeah, and I've put my neck on the line with this Rice thing as well. Like, I've been saying, but I just put myself in his shoes. And before we go into the next topic, I just want to say, like, I was telling you, I was talking to a couple of West Ham fans, and a lot of them are like, "Oh, why would it go Arsenal? Because Arsenal aren't really going to win anything, whatever." But then I was trying to say to them is that Rice is what, 24? Is it 24, 25?
Yeah,
Around
24. Yeah.
I look at it and I feel like if you're him, you've won Europa Conference, and you're sitting there at home, and you think, okay, where can I go right now where I can win a trophy? I'm not saying it has to be Premier League, Champions League, whatever, could be an FA Cup.
Yeah.
To win a trophy around players where I can enhance my game. I don't have to do a lot of like maneuver in terms of family, up sticks and whatever, and good manager, good coach. For me, I look at it and it's Arsenal. I'm not being biased, but I look at it and I think he's got his England teammates there, he's got Ramsdale there, and everyone that Arsenal seem to be signing is around that age group. So it's literally the slotting. Like, it just feels so perfect. It has to happen. Like, you can see it already. Saka scores a goal at the Emirates, and then they're doing a little celebration that will, what I mean? Or he comes, or when he's coming to the training ground or whatever, he's playing that song, the Afrobeat song. I love that.
And also, what's got to draw Rice as well is the fact that surely he's got to be thinking, hold on, Ramsdale's just signed a deal, Martinelli's just signed a deal, Saka's just signed a deal. Like, all these youngsters are signing fresh deals, so they're going to be there for the foreseeable future. So it's not. Obviously, we know someone can sign and leave, but the things he must hear as well from Saka. Him and Saka are quite close, so the things like he must hear from Saka and now Ramsdale, the Arsenal, the family that we are, and if you see even about 5 of the team. First team got married in the last 2 weeks as well. It's like it's like Arsenal are a proper family run thing. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's something that it's a part of. It's not a Chelsea where you've just gone out and spent 600 million signing this person, that person, that person, and there seems to be no unity in the team. It's just names.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. And you're right. And I said that as well. I feel like everything just seems like it's going very well for Arsenal, which is why I said this window will be the biggest in terms of contract renewals, signings, and stuff like that, But speaking of renewals, and we spoke about a couple, the main one, my guy, for those that know me, I love this guy too much. I've been bigging him up for, 3-4 seasons now. I call him WS2, and I've been calling WS2 for a long time, and he's getting his number 2. Saliba. Listen, how big is that renewal, that contract renewal?
That is massive. That is as big as any signing the whole of this summer. Like, signing someone like Saliba to a 4-year +1 deal. I mean, if this didn't happen, if we decided to sell him, or he decided, for me, I don't know who there is out there now that could replace what Saliba does.
Nobody.
What he's done.
Nobody.
There's no one, and that puts belief into me that next season we're gonna be all right. Obviously, we know there's injuries and stuff, but I'm not going into the season with Kivior playing at right centre back when he's really a left centre back, or Rob Holding. Saliba's going to be back, so it just uplifts me again. I'm like, Saliba, that spine of that team. So imagine Saliba, Rice, Saliba, Partey, Rice, like Odegaard. Come on, man.
I know. No, it's true. Saliba's just. When you watch him play, and I say this, he doesn't sprint aggressively. He has a gallop. It's a weird one. It's like you see him run, and you think, is he going to catch him? But the strides, like I remember, I think it was Luis Diaz when we played Liverpool. Diaz is doing it, and Saliba's just like, okay, galloping beside him and got it. And that's what I feel like. And you've seen it from young. I feel like with Saliba, and I said this years ago, he is better than Varane was at that age when they were younger. He'll get his time in the French team. I think Varane's still quality, good player. But I think Saliba will surpass him. I feel like Saliba just needs next to him a partner. Gabriel's been doing it. And I think they've got the whole language thing. They speak French together, isn't it? I think Gabriel
Yes,
speaks.
yeah.
So I think they've got that little thing going, and you can see that blossoming. I feel like Gabriel just needs to take out a few errors because he was good last season. He still has a couple of them bozo moments, but I feel like having Saliba there and having him fit all season with Rice in front, I just look at that and I think finally you'll have a team where you can go away to an Old Trafford, because we're quite unlucky at Old Trafford from time to time, win, go to the Etihad finally and go, do you know what? Let's go there and like put a marker down. Because we go there, that flaky midfield, we've got Holding at the back, and then we'll play a Partey with a Jorginho, and you're like, we're not winning. For once I want a team where I can look at the spine and go, okay, cool, ready for this, ready for Champions League, ready for this competition. And another thing as well, I want us to really not prioritize. I really want us to go all out on all fronts, because I feel this whole thing that we do with last season, do you know what, Europa, we'll let that one go. And I think that might have obviously cost us in the long run. I'm not going to dwell on it because the season's gone, but it's important to go for everything. Man City have shown, forget this whole thing of the players need rest. Players want match practice. You want match fitness. You know what I mean? And that's why if you look at Gundo, as the season's been going out, that form has not stopped. FA Cup final goal, important goals in the Premier League. So, I feel like, we've done the renewals part, on the verge of getting Rice. And, we just need to get 2-3 more and really, really show. Do you know what, guys? That second one, a fluke. We go again. Let's go.
I'm telling you. And like you said, we need the squad. We need the squad stacked as well. Because like you said, with a Man City, remember when Haaland was out for a couple games, he had a little knock or whatever, and Julian Alvarez came in, and it's like they didn't even miss Haaland, and they, Mahrez goes out, Foden comes in, Gundogan goes out, Bernardo Silva steps in. Do you know what I mean? The quality all over the pitch, and who would have thought someone like Nathan Ake would turn into one of the best defenders in the league? A year ago, nobody would ever thought that. Do you know what I mean? It's got a lot to do with Pep's coaching, obviously, but
100%.
I feel that Arteta's kind of following that Pep blueprint, and I think obviously we don't have as much indispensable fans as Man City do, but I don't know. Man, we just need a pretty thick squad to deal with it. And like you said, go for it. Or even the Carabao Cup. Go for the Carabao Cup.
Yes.
Go for everything, man.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, as a player, I can imagine Arsenal. You've been an Arsenal player. We rest players in Europa. You go out Europa, then it's like you've only got league left, one game a week. You're like training all week. You're like, I'm not even going to get a run out. I'm not going to get a chance to show what I can do and maybe get a Premier League game. You know what I'm saying? And we need to stop doing that. And listen, all I will say as well, it is very important for Arteta to win something next season. Like, I am one of the few that if we don't win anything next season, I will be like, ooh, you're on the line now, mate. Like, genuinely. Like, I think next season he has to think and go, okay, we've shown we finished second league. I want top 2 minimum again, but we're going for the league. FA Cup, I want that as well. Carabao, you play like the Miles Skellies and the Koiser Dubries, so you don't know how far you're going to get. You know what I mean? Anything can happen. Champions League, I want minimum quarterfinals. None of that round of that round in between, that second round. We'll always get enough.
I don't even want to. I don't even if it's a thing where you drop down into Europa League. I don't even want that. I'd prefer to go through to the quarterfinals than drop down into the Europa League. Like, I really want us to stamp our authority and just show the world that we're back, man. And it's not just one hit season.
Yeah, that's it. No one's saying we're going to go and win it, but to show some real ambition. Because I'm sure other teams have looked and gone, bro, Arsenal really improving, you know, like Arsenal really, you know, they're doing their thing. And obviously we slipped up by some silly results, but I'm sure we'll learn from that. And by adding this quality, I don't think we're going to have all these, you know, further problems like that down the line. But, you know,
Exactly.
I just wanted to touch on one other bit of transfer news that I'm sure we've all seen today. It's not Arsenal related for those that are thinking, oh, all they're talking about is Arsenal. Bellingham, Real Madrid.
Mm, mm, mate, that's a great signing for them.
Hmm.
Bellingham, Tchouameni, Camavinga, Modric, that midfield. Oh man. Whew.
We're getting an
Do you know
imagine
what?
Valverde as well.
Um, I heard they're trying to. I heard they're trying to offload him though. I think they want to try and raise money for Mbappe this summer. So
But I think that would be
we'll
silly of
see.
them to do that one. I think Valverde is too good. I feel like
All right, trust me.
Tchouameni is the one who I feel like if they're gonna sell, because I feel like last season he wasn't really played as much. I think he was coming off the bench a lot of the time. But you watch Valverde in games, I don't think I've seen anyone run like this guy does, man. And not only does he run, he has that final ball. You know, sometimes players run and they get to the end and it's like they scuff the ball out.
Yeah,
He'll
yeah,
sprint, get
yeah,
to the end, and still getting that. We saw it in Champions League final against Liverpool
yeah,
in that season before. Like quality player.
yeah. Absolute quality player, man. And Bellingham, I truly believe that. I think he's gonna do so well
Mm,
in Spain, man. I was kind of happy. To be fair, I was kind of happy he didn't come to the Premier League.
mm,
Um, Obviously Liverpool they dropped out the race because obviously funds and stuff. But
mm,
unless he was coming to us,
mm.
I'm happy that he's still young. He's 19. Do you know what I'm saying? So he'll probably come to the Premier
Mad.
League in the next 4 or 5 years anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think right now, I think going to Real Madrid, that's a good step for him because he
Mm,
can go there, he can win everything, he can win Champions League, he wins Super Cup or whatever, and then by the time he's like Haaland, obviously Haaland's 22,
mm,
he's what he's won. Look what he's won. Do you know what I mean? But I think Bellingham will go to Madrid and probably achieve even more than that
mm.
in the next 5, 6 years. So we'll see. We'll see. And the fees a bit crazy though. 80 rising to 115, depending on league positions and trophies won and things
Mm.
like that. So that's a lot of money. I'd like to know what Dortmund's going to do with that money.
It's true.
You
But
know?
that's the thing, though. You think you deep it. And now I was saying, me and my friends had a discussion a couple of years ago. We're like, why Birmingham City retiring his shirt? Cool, I
Mm,
understand. But I remember saying at the time, I went, this guy's special. And like, when I
yeah,
look at him, this is going to sound mad again. I love my outlandish statements. He will probably go down for me as one of England's greatest ever players. Like, just
mm,
deep it. The guy is 19. And the fact that he's
exactly.
looking at this guy, I'm
Yeah,
at Dortmund. He hasn't thought, I'm going to go Man City, do whatever. I'm going Real Madrid. Do you know how tough
yeah,
it can be to do well at Real Madrid? We've seen Gareth Bale, man, won numerous Champions League and they're waving the flags at him, whatever. "Oh, we don't want you." Like,
yeah,
when I look at an English player making that move, it honestly it warms my heart because I'm like, the fact that you're thinking I'm gonna go out there, you do my thing and show them what I'm about. I love it. Same when Beckham went. I love their moves, and
yeah,
then
man.
you know,
Michael Owen done well out there as well, man.
yeah, McManaman, like them man, they're
Yeah,
like, because you
yeah.
start to watch Real Madrid more. You go like, what's going on the
Mm,
next season? We're gonna be like, who Real Madrid play? What Osasuna? I'm watching, man. Like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
it's
No,
true.
yeah.
It's true, man. But you know what? Quickly, I'm just gonna go back to Arsenal. I'm not gonna touch on it for too long, but I know everyone's talking about our budget and stuff like that, whether it's 150, 200, whatever. And if we spend whatever on Rice, whatever on Caicedo, but we've got to remember as well that not all these fees are going to be paid up front. So we might only end up spending, say, 70 million on, say,
Yes.
Rice and Caicedo this year. Do you know what I mean?
True.
And because the deal's probably spread over a few years,
Yeah.
we might not be spending 170 what people think we're going to spend just like that.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah, sure.
if we do sign a lot of quality players and we have these payment structures in place, you know, where each year we're giving this club 20 mil, that club 25 mil, that club 20 mil. You know, it could be done. We could actually technically sign all these players they're saying are 60 mil. It could be done. You know, work
Yeah,
to the structures.
don't trust our people them though. Our negotiators, man. Like, I mean, I try and trust them, and then I'll go on and I see Edu's doing barbecue. This guy does barbecue all the time.
Yeah. And Richard Garlick as well. I mean, I question some of Richard Garlick's decisions, especially after watching the All or Nothing.
Do you remember? Yeah,
he didn't want to get rid of Aubameyang. He was like, "No, you can't get rid of Aubameyang." Blah, blah, blah. And Eddie was like, "Well, what we're gonna do? We can't get money for him. No one's gonna want to buy him." Blah blah blah. He goes Barca for 6 months. Chelsea buying for 12 million. It's like the same player you couldn't get any money for, and had to terminate his contract. He sold for 12 million 6 months later, and it just things like that just makes me wrap my brain out. What are these guys doing, man?
Yeah.
Liverpool, McAllister, 35 million for Alexis McAllister, World Cup winner, 35 million. How are Liverpool doing it? Why can't we do that?
Do you think though? I was thinking with the McAllister one just quickly. I feel like there was a deal agreed time back that I think they said like if someone like from top 4 or top 5, 6 come for you, then obviously you make the move for that price. That's what I think is. I think it's kind of looked and was like we won't deny you that move because obviously right now he's won the World Cup, he's at the top of his game. Now would be the right time, you know, to let him move and do his thing.
I think there was an agreement, and I think Caicedo's made the similar agreement with Brighton. If he promised to sign, I think they said, yeah, as long as we get the same amount that we was being offered in January, and you stay with us to the end of the season, we won't stand in your way. If a club comes in with a 75 to 80 mil, we'll let you go. I think that's the kind of agreement Caicedo's got. And I'm surprised. I don't know. There's a lot of talk about Caicedo to Arsenal, but
I know
it's very hit and miss. So it is what it is, man.
I feel like just to wrap it up, I feel like the Rice one I think is happening, but you know all of us Arsenal fans were like, Rice is good, like very good, but just add, you know, it's like making food you do, and you're like just a bit more seasoning and just a little bit, like it tastes good. Just want a little bit, then let them come with a little, you know, because it will be honestly Rice and Caicedo. For me, get Rice and Caicedo, and then suddenly I'm like, you know what? Whatever else you want to do in a window, add little bits now. You even got to get a couple of youths, get a couple of young players, because that there just transforms the whole midfield. Like Rice, Caicedo, and Partey in a free. Like what?
Odegaard there floating in that, you know.
It's phenomenal.
The last thing I'm gonna say before you wrap up is I'm a bit disappointed though, because if we do this, what does that mean for Miles Skelly? What does it mean for Brooke Norton-Cuffy, who's had a great season at Coventry last season at right back? Like, what does it mean for these raw waters? Like Charlie Patino, I know he wants to leave. He's still got 2 years left in his contract. I haven't really heard nothing about that. But all these youngsters, man, like, what does it mean for them? Does it mean that they're gonna have to leave, or they're gonna sit under 23s for not under 21s for another season and pushing back the development? I really don't know, man.
I know. Very good question. Very good question. But I feel like Miles Skelly, I think he'll get Carabao Cup time. I feel like you can tell him Koiza Dubé is Saka clone. Like you watch him play exactly like Saka. He'll get some. I think Real Waters will become. I think the plan is to possibly get rid of Holding and let Real Waters take that position in terms of coming on. And I feel like he will be what Rico Lewis is to Man City. Certain games, give him a decent run, let him do his thing. I look at...
I hope so.
Yeah, I think he's quite... He looks beyond his age. You went to the final. He looks a cut above, you know what I mean? The way you can play out the back and stuff like that. But I think they'll get their time. Listen, all they've got to do is look at what Amari Hutchinson thought he was going to get, and he didn't. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Right now, you know, I put yourself in their shoes. If you're a youngster now, actually, before this will be the last one. So you're a youngster. You are. I'm going to give you youngster. You are not Real Water. Let me give you another one. Actually, no. Okay, cool. You are Norton Coffee. That's a very good one. Arteta says to you, do you know what? You're going to play a few league games. I'll bring you on for a couple of minutes, but you will play cup games. But then I'm looking at, so you played last season. Let's say Lincoln City come back for him, want him, you know, for the season, guaranteed to start. What would your decision be?
You see, it's tough. Me personally, I'd say okay, but what I would say to him is, right, I'll stay, but if by the time the January window comes around and I'm not seeing as much as promised, then please allow me just to go on loan to the end of the season. And then I'll make sure when I get those opportunities in our cup games, you remember me.
Yes. 100%.
You know what I mean? Putting in performances, because I like him. He's a good he's a good right back. Even what's his name is scholar right now. Nyamweri.
Yes.
Name properly.
Ethan,
His scholarships run out, so now he can sign a professional contract. And apparently he's being given quite a lot of from Man City, Chelsea, from a few other clubs. He's got offers on the table.
Yeah, he's the one I don't want to lose, though. I feel like with him, you see it. You know, when you see a youngster and you think strong, quick, and I think, don't want to lose him, man. Please. But I honestly think he's going. I'm with you. I feel like it's one of them where he wants game time. He probably thinks I'm going to go somewhere else and get into, or he'll probably look at Man City. And because I think Man City, along with West Ham, have, you know, good academies and all of this and that and under 20. So I feel like maybe that's the type of route he's going to want to take. But all I want these guys to know is that you can go there. But right now, in terms of your route into the first team, not much better than Arsenal. West Ham have got a decent one now in terms of how they're doing. I think Arsenal's a great one. Honestly, Arsenal's, you know what I mean? But I don't know. That's up to them. But listen, you know what? I've got notification on Twitter. I'm thinking Rice confirmed. I keep looking. I'm like, come on.
We pray.
Yeah, I'm sure by the next time we do one, listen, the Rice will be confirmed, and I can get 41 a month. So I want to get a shirt with 41, and I want one with a number 2, Saliba. That's the plan. That's the plan this season. But listen, Cav, big up for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Cheers, bro.
Let people know where to find you again on Twitter and everything like that.
Yeah. If you just Google YouTube, the Red Pitch Podcast, same for Twitter, same for Instagram, same for TikTok. Yeah, all socials, the Red Pitch Podcast, and just give me a little subscribe, like, comment, and let's keep this going, man. Big up to Matt as well, Back in the Net Podcast. Just stay tuned, man.
That's it, man. Cheers for that. Yeah, we've got big things, man. We've got big things coming. Listen, I'm going to have plenty more guests as well. Newcastle fans, you know who you are. Other Liverpool fans as well coming in. But yeah, listen, follow me, Back in the Net Podcast. I'm on Twitter, TikTok, Insta. I don't really use as much. So yeah, really them two. And on TikTok, I'm trying to be a bit more interactive on there. Like, I kind of find it fun like that on the football ones anyway, doing little short videos and that. But listen, it's been a great. I hope you guys enjoy the show and enjoy the rest of the transfer window. But we'll be back soon. Peace.
Peace.